Process of nutrition. Nutrition is a process by which organism obtains food and complete its nutritional requirement. The process of nutrition has certain steps like ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. The first process is ingestion, in which food is taken into alimentary canal through mouth. We chew this food with the help of teeth and taste with the help of tongue. Next process is digestion. Digestion takes place in various parts of the alimentary canal, but the digestion is going to start in the buccal cavity, that is mouth region, right from the moment we take the first bite of our food. Talking about the digestion in buccal cavity, the ingested food is chewed and masticated in buccal cavity with the help of teeth. Mucus in the saliva moistens and lubricates the food and helps in the process of swallowing. Salivary amylase is an enzyme which is present in saliva and breaks the starch into maltose. The next part is pharynx and esophagus. In pharynx and esophagus, no digestion occurs. Only food is passed from the buccal cavity to the stomach from pharynx and esophagus. Pharynx is a common passage for the wind as well as for the food. Next, we are going to talk about digestion in stomach. Digestion in stomach involves certain digestive juices, and those present in stomach are called as gastric juice. Gastric juice has hydrochloric acid in it and it is secreted by gastric gland, and this is going to help in the process of digestion of food. Let's talk about the functions of hydrochloric acid. It makes the food acidic, that is pH 1.8, for the action of gastric enzymes. It destroys bacteria present in the food. HCl activates propepsin into pepsin and prorenin into renin. It also controls opening and closing of the pyloric aperture. Moving towards digestion by enzymes of gastric juice, enzymes present in gastric juice are pepsin, renin, and gastric lipase. Pepsin is responsible for breakdown of protein into peptones and proteoses. Renin, in the presence of HCl and calcium ion, helps digestion of milk protein. Gastric lipase partially digests the fats. Moving towards the next part of alimentary canal, we have digestion in small intestine. The first part of small intestine is called as duodenum. Here, the partially digested food from stomach called as chyme is pushed, and duodenum also receives bile juice from the gallbladder and pancreatic juice from the pancreas, which is mixed with the chyme coming from the stomach. Let's talk about the functions of bile juice. Bile neutralizes acidity of the chyme in duodenum. It makes the chyme alkaline, that is pH 8.0 to 8.6, for the action of enzymes of pancreatic and intestinal juice. Bile plays an important role in emulsification of fat and prepares them for the action of other enzymes. The next is digestion by enzymes of pancreatic juice. The enzymes present in pancreatic juice are trypsin and chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, pancreatic amylase or amylopsin, pancreatic lipase or steapsin. Let's talk about the first one, that is trypsin or chymotrypsin. They are responsible for breakdown of protein into polypeptide. Carboxypeptidase is responsible for breakdown of polypeptide into tripeptide, dipeptides, and amino acid. Pancreatic amylase is responsible for hydrolysis of starch and glycogen into maltose, and pancreatic lipase is acting on the fat. It emulsifies fat and hydrolyzes them into fatty acid and glycerol. Moving towards the next part of small intestine, it is ileum. In ileum, The intestinal gland is going to secrete intestinal juice and it completes the process of digestion and its wall absorbs the digested food. The next part is digestion in large intestine. In large intestine, there is no major digestion that would be taking place. The undigested part of the food is going to change into semi-solid feces in the large intestine. Talking about the end products of digestion. So after digestion, carbohydrates change into glucose, fructose and galactose. Proteins change into amino acid and fats change into glycerol and fatty acids. Now let's move towards the next step in the process of nutrition, which is called as absorption of digested food. The process of absorption takes place in small intestine and hence small intestine is also called as the site of absorption. It absorbs glucose, fructose, galactose, amino acid and vitamins through the villi which is present in the intestinal wall. In this image, we can observe this finger-like projection. These are called as villi. Villi also have lymph vessels and lacteals for the absorption of glycerol and fatty acid. Again, let's observe this image. This pink thing is called as lacteal and it is responsible for absorption of glycerol and fatty acid. Moving towards the modification in small intestine for efficient absorption. Firstly, small intestine is extremely long so that it can increase the surface area. It also has finger-like projection called as villi, which furthermore increases this surface area for absorption. Its lining is very thin, which permits rapid absorption of substances across it, and each villi has dense network of blood capillaries. It also has lacteal or lymph vessel in each villi for the absorption of fat. Talking about the absorption in large intestine is not going to play any major role in absorption. It is going to absorb only water and some salt from the food after its digestion. In this image we can see this is the villi and villi is supplied with the blood capillaries as well as with the lacteal which help in the absorption of digested food. The fourth step in the process of nutrition is assimilation, that is the fate of absorbed food. The food that was absorbed by the villi is distributed to all the body cells by blood and is used for various life processes. Glucose is used during respiration to release energy. Amino acid is used for the synthesis of protein, which can be used for the formation of enzyme, for growth, and for repair of cells. Fatty acids and glycerol are converted into fats and stored in the adipose tissue. The last step is called as egestion or defecation. It is the process in which undigested part of food in the form of feces is pushed into the rectum from where it could be passed through anus by the process of egestion or defecation so that it could be removed out of the body.